ऋषिकेश रमेश ऋतिक श्रीराम रमेश शिवा कविन नाइट உன்னோடது என்ன பேரு?
சுமதின் கூட நீ ரிஷிகேஷம் இருக்கட்டும் ரிஷி. நம்ம மியூட்ல இருக்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
நம்ம மியூட்ல.
சுமதின் கூட நீ ரிஷிகேஷம் இருக்கட்டும் ரிஷி. நம்ம மியூட்ல இருக்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
நம்ம மியூட்ல.
சுமதின் கூட நீ ரிஷிகேஷம் இருக்கட்டும் ரிஷி. நம்ம மியூட்ல இருக்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
நம்ம மியூட்ல.
சுமதின் கூட நீ ரிஷிகேஷம் இருக்கட்டும் ரிஷி. நம்ம மியூட்ல இருக்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
நம்ம மியூட்ல.
சுமதின் கூட நீ ரிஷிகேஷம் இருக்கட்டும் ரிஷி. நம்ம மியூட்ல இருக்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
நம்ம மியூட்ல.
சுமதின் கூட நீ ரிஷிகேஷம் இருக்கட்டும் ரிஷி. நம்ம மியூட்ல இருக்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
நம்ம மியூட்ல.
சுமதின் கூட நீ ரிஷிகேஷம் இருக்கட்டும் ரிஷி. நம்ம மியூட்ல இருக்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
நம்ம மியூட்ல.
Hey, hey. I don't know. இது எடுத்துட்டு போ இதே எடுத்து எங்கேயா கொஞ்சம் பத்திரமா வை. சும்மா தூக்கிட்டு அவன் எடுத்துட்டு போறான், உடைக்க போறான் ஒரு நாள். நல்லா வாங்குவேன். $13 மயிரில் வாங்கினது சும்மா போச்சு உனக்கு.
எப்படி இருக்கீங்க கார்த்திக்? குழந்தை சௌக்கியமா?
ஜூம்ல பேசிட்டு இருக்காங்க.
ஓகே.
$50 കുറച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞ് വരണ ഫോൺ എന്തൊരു ഫോണാണ് കേട്ടത് അല്ലേ? ഒരു അന്തസ്സിട്ട് കൊണ്ടു നടക്കുമ്പോൾ എന്തറിയണില്ല. ഇല്ല എന്ത് പറഞ്ഞാലും നമ്മളെ തലയിലൊന്നും ഇരിക്കില്ല.
பாலக்கல்ல ஜாயின் பண்ணிருக்காங்க போல. மலையாளத்தை
ஆன் பண்ணிட்டு அப்படியே கேட்டுட்டு இன்னும் பையன் பேசிக்ஸ் உனக்கு கிடைக்கும். அதுக்காண்டி தான் அதை அட்டன் பண்ண சொல்றேன். உனக்கு ரொம்ப ஈஸியா இருக்கு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட்.
ஒரே நிமிஷம் தாங்க.
ஏன் சவுண்டே வர மாட்டேங்குது?
Good morning all joined here, and it takes me immense pleasure in welcoming you all to this session. Before straight away jumping into the topic,
அப்பா வந்துச்சு.
Srinivasan sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir, audible.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. I'm Master.Lohith Srivatsav of grade 9 from Parvati Sanagura International School, Dindikal, and I'm here to present today's webinar. I hope you all can see my screen. How many times do you need to fold a paper for its thickness to reach the moon? Yes. How many times do you need to fold a paper like this for its thickness, for this thickness to reach the moon from here? Yes, this paper's thickness is less than a millimeter. And if I fold this paper once, the thickness becomes its double. And if I fold this paper again, the thickness becomes 4 times. And again, it becomes 8 times. And again, it becomes 16 times. In this way, if we fold this paper again and again, the thickness also increases. So just assume you can fold this paper as many times you wish, maybe a trillion times or a billion times. Just assume you can fold this paper as many times as you wish. How many times should you fold this piece of paper for this thickness to reach the moon from here? Again, this is just a hypothetical question. Don't ask, how can I fold this paper as many times? Just assume you can fold this paper as many times. So you can unmute your mics and answer the question, or there is a chat box option in the, you can enable your chat box and say the answer. Come on, someone. Just give a wild guess at it. How many times do you need to fold a paper like this for its thickness to reach the moon? Anyone? Okay, anyone please? Rajeshwari ma'am, can you please say? Rajeshwari ma'am? Rajeshwari ma'am, can you please unmute your mic and say the answer? Just give a wild guess. Okay, we have got answers in the chat box. Boobace had said 10 times, 6 times, 20 times. Do you really think the distance between the Earth and the Moon is 3,80,000 kilometers? Do you really think in just 10 folds or 6 folds we can reach the Moon? 45. Okay, let's see again. What if we take 1 million times? 1 million times? What if I say it is less than that? 1,000 times? What if I say it is even less than that? 100 times? Really, I'm not joking. It is even less than 100 times. Yes, with folding a paper less than 100 times, the thickness reaches the moon. Do you believe me? Let me show you how. How many times should you fold a paper for its thickness to reach the moon? This was my question. And the answer is 45 times. Yes, one of my friend here has said 45 times. That is very correct. Really, in just 45 folds, the thickness of the paper reaches the moon. Let me explain you how now. With 10 folds of holding a paper, the thickness reaches 1 centimeter. With 17 folds, the thickness reaches 4 feet, or the average height of a normal boy. With 25 folds, the thickness reaches the height of Eiffel Tower. With 40 folds, the thickness reaches the average height where GPS satellites fly. And in the 45th fold, the thickness reaches the moon. Yes, for some better understanding, let us see a video regarding this.
Piece of silk. To clarify these ideas, let's say you have a paper that's 1,000th of a centimeter in thickness. That is
Sorry, we are getting disturbances. Please wait a minute.
ten to the power of minus 3 centimeters, which equals 0.001 centimeters. Let's also assume that you have a big piece of paper, like a page out of the newspaper. Now, we begin to fold it in half. How many times do you think it could be folded like that? And another question. If you could fold the paper over and over as many times as you wish, say 30 times, what would you imagine the thickness of the paper would be then? Before you move on, I encourage you to actually think about a possible answer to this question. Okay, after we have folded the paper once, it is now 2/1000ths of a centimeter in thickness. If we fold it in half once again, the paper would become 4/1000ths of a centimeter. With every fold we make, the paper doubles in thickness. And if we continue to fold it again and again, always in half, we would confront the following situation after 10 folds. 2 to the power of 10, meaning that you multiply 2 by itself 10 times, is 1,024 thousandths of a centimeter, which is a little bit over 1 centimeter. Assume we continue folding the paper in half. What would happen then? If we fold it 17 times, we'll get a thickness of 2 to the power of 17, which is 131 centimeters, and that equals just over 4 feet. If we were able to fold it 25 times, then we would get 2 to the power 25, which is 33,554 centimeters, just over 1,100 feet. That would make it almost as tall as the Empire State Building. It's worthwhile to stop here and reflect for a moment. Folding a paper in half, even a paper as fine as that of the Bible, 25 times, would give us a paper almost a quarter of a mile. What do we learn? This type of growth is called exponential growth. And as you see, just by folding a paper, we can go very far, but very fast too. Summarizing, if you fold a paper 25 times, the thickness is almost a quarter of a mile. 30 times, the thickness reaches 6.5 miles, which is about the average height that planes fly. 40 times, The thickness is nearly 7,000 miles, or the average GPS satellite's orbit, 48 times. The thickness is way over 1 million miles. Now, if you think that the distance between the Earth and the Moon is less than 250,000 miles, then, starting with a piece of Bible paper and folding it 45 times, we get to the Moon. And if we double it one more time, we get back to Earth.
Now, do you believe it? Yes. With folding a paper just 45 times, the thickness reaches the moon. Amazing, right? This is exponential growth.
How
The
many
power
times?
of compounding. So, what is exponential growth? It is greater increases with passing time. It is a pattern of growth which shows a slow increase initially and shows a rapid increase in growth after a certain time because of the compounding of the efforts. This is like folding a paper. Initially, the growth in thickness every time we fold is less, and at a point, the growth becomes very quick. Let us see a live example of exponential growth. The human population growth. As you can see in the graph, in the beginning of the 1800s, the world population is just 1 billion and it is slowly rising. As time progresses, in the 1950s, the rate of growth is high, resulting in an exponential growth. Another live example of exponential growth is bacterial growth. The case is same here. In the graph, the growth of rate is low, and after the 4th hour, the growth rate hikes. And this is one of the best live examples of exponential growth, the increase of pandemic. This graph shows us the increase in cases at a doubling rate of 12.4 days in India. In the beginning of April, the growth rate is very low, and after July, the growth of cases in India hikes. So what is the similarity? What is the similarity that you see in the graphs of these three? I mean, what looks similar? If you barely see at the graphs, the pattern of growth is same, almost the same curve-like pattern. This is exponential growth. For even more easy understanding, let us see another video.
இமயமலையாகாமல் எனது நடையில் உனது படைகள் போட்டிப்படுவே.
Okay, that was just for fun. But what do we see? What do we take from it? We see the importance of exponential growth in our life. Let us see where exponential growth is an important part in our life. Where exponential growth plays a vital role. Business and profession, stock market, and bank deposits. And what else? Okay, we can see now it one by one. Business and profession. How to see an exponential growth in business? What are the strategies that should be done? Think different. Think big. Constant upgrades. Use available resources. Find an alternative way. Comfort your customers. Make things simple. Innovate and customer satisfaction. Whatever your profession may be, whatever your business may be, these are some factors to attain exponential growth. Think different. Thinking uniquely or in a different way than the others can lead you to have an exponential growth in your business. One of the biggest companies that has a great exponential growth because of thinking different is Apple. See, their tagline itself says think different. What is the main difference we see between Apple and other companies. When other companies made their products with Android platform, Apple thought different. They made their products in their own operating system, the iOS platform, making every detail unique. Here, how many of you are using Apple products? I mean, many of you are using Apple products, but my question is, will you switch to any other phone brands? Anybody? How many of you are using Apple products?
My father is using.
Yes, if you will your father switch from Apple to any other phone companies? Did you ever ask him if he will switch to Apple to any other phone companies?
No, brother. I did not ask.
Okay, okay, fine. But if you ask, I'm sure he would say no, because all Apple users feel very comfortable with Apple itself. This graph shows Apple's exponential growth of revenue, mainly because they thought different. Currently, Apple has a net worth of $2 trillion and it has doubled its value in the past 2 years, meaning that in 2018, their net worth was just $1 trillion, and in just 2 years, they have doubled it to $2 trillion. Okay, let us see the next factor. Think big. Think big, dream big, believe big, and your results will be big. If you think big, you will believe big. Then your mind will find the ways to do it. When we search for the best example for a company that thought big and had grown big, the first name that hits the mind is Amazon. Do anyone know who is the founder and the CEO of Amazon?
Jeff Bezos.
Yes, Jeff Bezos is the founder and the CEO of Amazon. Amazon was founded by Jeff Bezos in 1994 as a bookstore, and it thought big about its future. For a second, just look around you. Leave everything and just look around you, and what do you see? Almost everything around you can be bought online at Amazon. From a variety, meaning cow dung, to gold, you can buy everything you need. Each month, more than 197 million people around the world visit Amazon online. This is more than the entire population of Russia. In 1 year, Amazon sells more than 2.5 billion products. This growth chart shows us the annual net revenue of Amazon from 2004 to 2019 in billion US dollars. As you can see, in the beginning of 2004, their growth rate was very low. And as time progresses, their growth rate hikes and their growth is exponential. So another factor, we see the current market value of Amazon. It is $1.14 trillion and the value in Indian rupee is so huge. So another factor is constant upgrades. Technology is evolving each day, and this has left many businesses asking this question: when is the right time to upgrade business? The simple answer to this, I would say, is every day. Upgrading business technology is very crucial to the success of any business. You can greatly increase productivity and even reduce operational costs by investing in new technology. According to a recent study, advancements in technology have helped increase productivity by more than 80% over the past 4 decades. And one such company which upgrading itself constantly is Facebook. With constant upgrades again and again, after 2007, the growth was remarkable for Facebook. It is one of the biggest reasons for its success. If you notice the graph, the pattern of growth is almost similar to that of Apple and Amazon because they all had an exponential growth. Facebook currently has 2.45 billion users worldwide, making it the world's largest social media platform. Now, Facebook also owns one of the biggest apps we are using today. It is in all our phones. It is in almost all the smartphones. Do you know what is it?
WhatsApp.
Yes. Facebook also owns WhatsApp, and you can see that WhatsApp also never stops upgrading itself. It is also the key reasons for the WhatsApp success. So the next factor is use available resources. There will always be many resources around us which help us in improving our business. We should identify it properly and use it efficiently, which will help us in growing our business. One such company which use their resources efficiently is Airbnb. So what is Airbnb? Airbnb is an online site which connects people who want to rent out their homes and spare rooms with people who are looking for accommodation. The founders were from the US and they started their business with air-filled beds and breakfast. That's why it is named Airbnb, Air, Bed and Breakfast. The idea was to offer the visitors a place to sleep and provide breakfast in the morning at a much cheaper cost than the hotels. The idea succeeded, and then they started connecting with those who had properties to rent out and had an exponential growth. The notable thing is they do not own any property. They use their available resources wisely. See how the number of guests staying with Airbnb hosts during the summer grew rapidly. And now Airbnb has 150 million plus number of total users on Airbnb, 2 million plus people staying in an Airbnb per night, and 7 million plus global Airbnb listings worldwide, and $35 billion of valuation based off recent stock sale. And in every second, even now, this very second, 6 guests check in to Airbnb. It has over 1 lakh cities with Airbnb listings. Now, we are half done with the topic. We can now play a quiz. You can join the quiz with the link in the chat box. Now you have got the link in the chat box. You can click it to play the quiz. This is just a fun quiz. We are keeping it for making the meeting interesting. Thank you for your responses. Now we have got 7 responses here. Thank you all. Thank you for your responses. We just did it for making the session interesting. Okay, diving back again into the topic, we were seeing the factors that will lead to an exponential growth. The next factor is find an alternative. Seeking strategic alternative ways will give a greater chance of achieving your goals and a new direction to improve your business. One such successful company is Tesla. So what is Tesla? Tesla is an electric vehicle manufacturer. It manufactures electric vehicles as the same efficiency as petrol and diesel vehicles. It found an alternative for the rising cost of petrol and diesel, and the strategy of Tesla was very simple. The strategy of Tesla was to enter high end of the market where customers are prepared to pay a premium and then drive down the market as fast as possible to higher unit volume and lower prices with each successive model. When Tesla found an alternative way, like any other, their growth rate was minimal, and in 2013, their revenue compounded and grew tremendously. It multiplied its revenue 1,430 times in just 10 years. And now, Tesla has 81.66% of market share of electronic vehicle market in the US, meaning that 82 out of 100 electric vehicles that run in the US is of Teslas. Now, moving on to another factor. Comfort your customers. Sam Walton, a famous entrepreneur who founded Walmart, said there is only one boss, the customer, and the customer can fire everybody in the company, from the chairman on down, simply by spending his money somewhere else. So comforting your customers is an important part in your business. One of such successful companies which works with comforting their customers as their prime priority is Uber. Uber is a company that offers vehicles for hire. Before, how do we travel in a taxi? We stop a taxi on the road or we book through a travel agent. But after Uber, everything came into our fingertips. You could book taxi online within seconds, anytime, anywhere. We will look at Uber's growth of how many cities they have been established over time. From 2010, their growth was minimal, and over time, after 2013, the growth rate doubled, and now Uber is in 80 plus countries. It completed 5 billion plus rides and 75 million plus active Uber rides worldwide, and 3 million plus people currently drive for Uber. So moving on to our next factor, make things simple. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. This was quoted by Leonardo da Vinci. Simple things reach many people. Watching a movie of our choice anytime, anywhere. How does that sound? This was made possible only by Netflix. Netflix gave us the experience to watch movies sitting in our couch, making things simple. This graph shows the number of subscribers at the end of a period of 1 year. Founded in 1997, their growth was very low, but did not give up. Their constant efforts compounded, and Netflix, which had just 11,000 subscribers, now has 182 million subscribers worldwide. We know other streaming services like Amazon Prime and Disney Plus Hotstar, but These are all streaming services, but they followed the core or the basic idea of Netflix. So another factor is innovate. Innovation is a very vital aspect. Innovation is one of the key reasons for the success of all companies we were discussing about. Look at Amazon. They innovated a new way of shopping. And Uber, they found an app to book taxis in which you can see the estimated time of arrival and many more things. And Netflix, now you could watch movies and television shows in your couch, in any device also. In that way, the biggest innovation of the era is smartphone. Earlier phones were only for speaking and messaging, but smartphones, they change our lifestyle. They change the way we communicate, and it changed replace the SLR cameras. You can notice how the number of smartphone units sold in the graph is exponential. We see that in 2007, only 122 million smartphone units were sold. But in 2019, the total number of units sold is 1,525 million. Now, can you guess how Google Maps measures traffic on road in real time?
Satellites.
More precisely, it uses the GPS data from individual phones on road to estimate the movement and the speed of traffic in real time, which is a big innovation. So the next factor is customer satisfaction. And customer satisfaction is one of the prime aspects. I can surely say that all companies we are discussing about gave a great deal of satisfaction to customers. And it is not that all the companies we discussed followed one factor, but I was just telling you what they were extremely good at. We have seen successful companies that grew exponentially following all the above factors. Now, we shall see a couple of examples of companies that failed because of not following the above factors. Nokia. The main reason for the failure of Nokia was lack of innovation. They did not keep them updated on technology, and thus they faced a steep downfall. Now, can anyone guess which company invented the first digital camera that we are using now? Just give a wild guess. It is not about answering the correct answer.
Canon.
Excuse me, could you say that again?
Canon.
Canon, okay. Any other guesses? If it is, what if I say it is not Canon? Any other guesses?
Yashika?
Okay, let me reveal the answer. It is Kodak that invented the first digital camera in the year 1975 itself, which is 45 years back. However, instead of marketing their new technology, the company held back for the fear of hurting its lucrative film business, even after the digital products were reshaping the market. They refused to accept the innovation and neglected to think different, and now they are nowhere. We have seen about business and profession. Now we will see about stock market. The next one where exponential growth plays a vital role is stock market. So what is stock market? Here, many of you would be dealing with stock market, may have known knowledge about it, but I'm just telling for those who are not aware of it. What is stock market? It is a source for companies to raise funds and a source for investors to buy shares in growing businesses. For example, companies like Reliance, Amazon, or Britannia, they sell their shares to the public for raising funds. And the public can buy the shares and be a shareholder of that particular company. If the company makes profit, the shareholder gains. And if the company makes loss, the shareholder loses. One of the best examples of exponential growth in stock market is Warren Buffett. He earns 248 crores per day. And let's see how we got to this question. Born in 1930, his age now is 90, and he purchased his first stock when he was just 11 years old. He is one of the most successful investors in the world, having a net worth of about $82 billion, making him the world's 7th wealthiest person. How he grew exponentially in life? His, he kept on investing constantly and waited patiently for the stocks to grow, and then magic happened. Here's the growth of Warren Buffett's net worth. His growth was extremely exponential, with starting out with just $5,000, now he has made $82 billion. When you look at the life of Warren Buffett, it is clear that you have a man who lived by principles and integrity. This included his investment decisions, which followed fundamental rules that he stuck to. Let us see some quotes said by him. What he said about income: never depend on single income. Make investment to create a second source. And about savings, don't save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. Let us see about his rules. Rule number 1, never lose money. And rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. And do not put all eggs in one basket. Here, what he means by eggs is investment. Warren Buffett advises not to put all your money in a single kind of investment, whether it's stock market, real estate, etc., so that your investment will be safe. One more example where exponential growth plays a vital role is bank deposits. So what is bank deposits? Again, many of you may be dealing with bank deposits and have a proper knowledge about it, but I'm just telling for those who are not aware of it. Bank deposits is compound interest on deposits which lead to exponential growth. What is compound interest? Simply put, it is interest on interest. Your money put on a bank deposit will earn more money as interest every year, and in turn, the added up deposit money and the earned interest will again earn interest in the following years. This way of earning accumulated interest is called compound interest. You can understand better by seeing the graph. In the graph, the yellow part is the deposit which is done in a small value year on year, and the blue part, it is the compound interest earned respectively. If you see in the graph, the initial compounding period, the interest is small, and in the long run, the interest on interest is a big deal. We can clearly see the power of compounding lead to an exponential growth. Now we have seen that exponential growth is related to business and profession, stock market, and bank deposits. What else? I would say it is related to whatever you do. Whatever you do. Let it be learning something new. Let it be practicing a game, or let it be building a career, or let it be improving our fitness, or let it be the education of students. When you put a lot of efforts, you would not see many results at the beginning. But when you put constant efforts, after a certain period of time, all the efforts you have put will get compounded and the result will be exponential. Take an example of a doctor. How will be his skill when he does the surgery for the first few times? And how will be his skill when he crosses hundreds and hundreds of surgeries? The continuous practice and experience will surely develop his skill and will make it easier for him. And the case is same with the sports person. Take an example of a cricketer. His skill and the dominance on the game will surely increase after he has played hundreds and hundreds of matches. So reading gives an exponential growth of knowledge. When you read a lot, it will surely give you a lot of knowledge. Updation of knowledge gives an exponential growth of power to grow. When you read a lot, you will gain more knowledge. And when you update that knowledge, you have the exponential growth of power to grow. Constant practice gives an exponential growth of skill. This is like the examples we referred to, the doctor and the sports person. When someone practices continuously or constantly in their field, it surely increases their skill and experience. Now, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Can anyone guess who could have possibly quoted this? This was a quote quoted by a famous scientist. Okay, let me reveal the answer. This was said by the famous scientist Albert Einstein. Yes, Albert Einstein said that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. So here's my conclusion. Achievement takes time and consistent effort. Anything that you want to achieve takes time and consistent effort, and you probably won't see any results in the beginning, but you have to just keep going anyway. Like Warren Buffett, believe that what you are doing is going to have value in the long term. Once you have identified what that vision looks like for you, understand that it is something that pay off if you stick with it. And then turning that vision into reality is very simple. Let the power of compounding work its magic and exponential growth happen. Thank you. Now let us play another last quiz. Please check out for a link in the chat. You can start playing the quiz. Just now, you may have got a link in the chat box. Please click that link to start playing the quiz. Till now, we have got 11 responses. Thank you for your responses. Thank you very much. And this is not for the intent of testing you. It is just for making the session interactive and more interesting. Now, I thank all of you for attending the session. We have come to the end of the session. I really thank everyone. It has been a pleasure talking to you for being the presenter of this meeting. You can now unmute your mic and give your valuable feedbacks, please. Anyone, please give your valuable feedbacks. It will be very valuable for us.
This is Shivaranjali from Australia. Well done, Lohith. Very inspiring, your speech.
Thank you, Auntie. Thank you. Thank you. Or you can give your comments in the chat box.
Brother, it was a nice session, brother.
Thank you, Dev Nitish.
This is Vishwa from Dubai. It was an awesome session with so much information. Thank you so much, Parvati's Anugraha, also for giving us such a good presentation.
Thank you, Auntie. Thank you.
Lohith, I do have a question for you. Are you planning to become an entrepreneur yourself?
Yes, Auntie. I'm interested in becoming an entrepreneur. I'm working for it, and I thought this would be a great topic, useful for me and many others. So I picked this topic and to speak. Thank you for asking.
You'll do really well. You're full of it.
No, it's superb.
Thank you, Tata. Thank you.
Lohith, this is Srivatsav.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
I didn't say anything. You said thank you. So usually you don't have any interaction between them.
Hello. Hello. Lohith. Lohith.
Yes, ma'am.
Lohith, this is Kala, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, keep it up, Kana. This is a very nice section.
Thank
I
you.
like it very much.
Thank
Keep
you,
it on
thank
rocking. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Lohith.
Yes, sir.
So usually you don't have that any interaction with me in the class. So today we have seen the different dimensions in you. So that you just keep it up. Congrats to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, Lohith.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm Adarsh. It was a very good session, Lohith. You used a lot of examples. It was very interesting. Rather than just speaking of the topic, you gave a lot of examples. It was very interesting.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Surivathy ma'am. You have given your comments in the chat box. Thank you, ma'am. Shiva uncle, thank you, uncle. And Bhavani auntie, thank you. And Ranesh has given his comments. Thank you. Thank you, Sudhama. And Naushant, thank you. Naushant uncle, thank you. Sangeeta auntie, thank you. Sheila ma'am, thank you all for your good comments. It has been very valuable for us and encouraging. Thank you. Now I would like to thank all of my teachers, my parents, and the principal ma'am, director sir, all of them for giving me this opportunity, and I thank all of you for attending this session. Thank you very much. Thank you.